meteorologist Julia Blanchette.
We've been talking about it a whole lot. The start to fall is right around the corner, and by around the corner, I mean tomorrow is the first official day of fall, and our seasons are changing, and so is our weather. Our weather is expected to do a little bit of a 360 from today. Today we had sunshine, and now we have rain on the way. Tomorrow afternoon will look a lot different than this past afternoon. Grand Junction is expecting a 30% chance for moisture, and in Montrose a 40% chance. Delta at a 30%. And Cortez is sitting at around 20% chance of passing showers. But for some locations, especially those of higher elevation, you're actually expecting to see some thunder and lightning in this mixture as well. So let's track out that storm system so you know what to expect and when to expect it, because the early morning hours will be primarily calm. The only impacts you're actually expecting at that time are expected to be north of I-70, so out towards Meeker, Rifle, even up towards Rangeley. We're expecting to see a little bit of moisture, but for now, at least 10 o'clock and later, not much of that makes it past and down into the lower valleys. So let's talk about when that changes, because a little bit more moisture does eventually pop up and start passing that state line at around the 2 o'clock mark. You'll start to see some thunder and some lightning, some sporadic showers down towards Montrose and even over Nucla, and not long after we'll start to see some smaller showers track over the Grand Junction area as well. We see some smaller cells sitting over Fruita. We see a lot of different moisture impacts going on across western Colorado for an extensive period of time. Now, that extensive period of time is actually going to last until about 8 p.m. But again, higher elevation places could see a lot more moisture. And up north of I-70, severe thunderstorms could be generating. So that goes for a cautionary motion towards the Lee burn scar. We've been getting a lot of rain up there, and that could be mudslides and other things like that. So this should get out of the way by the 8 o'clock mark, and later it all passes off into the north, but we'll keep watching it as we go through our day. Tomorrow morning, you'll be expecting a morning just like any other. It is still pretty warm. You're expecting to be 62 degrees at the 7 o'clock mark. At 9 a.m., 65. At 11, 71. And then between 1 and 3 p.m., that's where we're hitting the 75-degree mark. We're actually not hitting the 80s, which is because of all that moisture we're expecting. We're hitting a little bit of a cap here, and that will keep all of our weather conditions pretty calm and at least cooler for most Western Slope residents. So expect that. But tonight, per usual, our temperatures are pretty average across the board. 46 in the Meeker area overnight tonight. Colebron about 55, and Grand Junction 57. Delta and Montrose at about 53, and the Cortez area about 47. And last but not least, those highs, we're expecting to be about 79 degrees in Grand Junction tomorrow, 80 in the Delta area, 75 in Montrose, and then about 73 in the Cortez area. Even Meeker is getting to about 62 tomorrow. So remember, all that afternoon warming might be stunted just a little bit by the rain. But those 7-day forecasts, no surprises in store for you. Only the moisture we talked about in store for tomorrow. Maybe a shower or two into Tuesday, but for the most part, we'll stay dry until we get to Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday, we have a 20% chance for moisture right now, and we'll continue to track that as we get a little closer. The Montrose area is expected to be partially cloudy in the morning, and then we'll start to see those showers and thunderstorms later in the afternoon to evening. A 40% chance for moisture, and on Tuesday, a 20% chance will be mostly sunny and will consistently be warm across the forecast zone. We'll start to get more moisture into the forecast by Friday and Saturday. The Delta area, a 20% chance for moisture. Tuesday, 74 degrees. Wednesday, 81. And Thursday, 85. And we could cool down again for a little bit of moisture on the tail end of the week. But last but not least, the Cortez area, about a 20% chance for moisture. 73 degrees on your Monday. On your Tuesday, 74. Wednesday, 77.